Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Recaps and Daily Teachings. Before we start, quick disclaimer, anything we discuss is just for educational purpose, nothing is financial advice. Alright guys, earnings season, big earning day. Lot of earnings today, lot of earning plays today. There's so much to cover today. I mean, it's just insane day in the community. We just literally killed all the earning setups. So if you do not trade earnings, I always say wait for a day like this. Last few days were choppy, nothing much, but today you could make insane gains in the market. Losers small and winners big. Hold. And I will just show you, like I always, the real timestamp recaps, the real guidance how to trade this, right? So just before we start, let's do an introduction for anybody who's new to our X accounts, new to our YouTube, or new to our community. We trade a repeatable system called Ripster Cloud System, which also includes all my teachings on the technicals, psychology, trading, day trading, investing, and swing trading. So thousands of traders have been using my teachings all over the world to trade successfully. You can go to ripstereducation.com. You can take a look how the traders have changed their life trading all the system that I teach. The most highly probable systems, if you're day trading, highly probable system for day trading as well. No system comes closer. I have thousands of videos. I have thousands of recaps, real-time trades to show you that. So what we do that? We trade this in our live community 10 trade group, which is one of the largest, fastest growing online educational community, not an alert service, where we trade these setups live and we guide these setups live. I'm on the live screen. I'm on the live voice. So, traders come in, they learn my system. Most of the traders, they learn the system and trade it. Of course, thousands of my followers also trade my system who are not in the community. But when we are in community, we and our team, we make a plan in the pre-market. Traders come to me, I don't know what to trade. We make a plan in the pre-market and we follow our plan. Based upon our plan, we trade all the setups, earning plays, news plays, upgrades, downgrades, the market index plays. So we have a lot of those kind of setups that we play. So we make a plan, we make a support levels, resistance level, our MTF cloud level, and we have an initial game plan. We also talk about all the hot sectors, hot stocks, especially in the Tannet research that we have built. We find our sector rotation early. We know that what are the stocks that are hottest today, what are the stocks which are running today, where Earth was running. So anyways, we make this plan, we have this plan, we follow this plan. I highlight any setups which I like, my top setups, I highlight them. Then we trade a lot of other stuff as well. We trade futures trade amazing with the Ripster EMA cloud system. We have a day 2 day 3 strategy. There's so many plays to recap here. We have our day 2 day 3 strategy. I did a free webinar on that as well. Then we trade SPY QQQ. I'll show you that how it was a beautiful trade for us in the community. We trade low floats, we provide and we trade IPOs as well. All this information is provided in the pre-market by our team. All the levels are given, all the plan is given. Traders learn the system, and they focus and they find the setups and follow the setups like I'm going to show you. I'm usually on the live voice first few hours of the market open. I'm usually on the live screen share most of the day, and I update on the traders on the trade setup so you can trade consistently. So let's start with the recap. If you in our community, we also use a lot of tools like option flow scanners, stock scanners, breaking news alerts. We have tool over $500-600 which are free for the traders who are in the community. The key is to find those opportunities, find conviction, keep your losers small, winners big, ride the clouds. Let's start with the recap. All right, the first trade we're going to start with is Lily. I'm going to go fast today because there's a lot of tickers to cover. The Lily thing is we have traded it again and again 1,000 times. If you go look at my recaps, for last few years, you'll find out how many times we have traded Lily with such a confidence, home run trades. Literally, Lily can change your account if you trade on the days like this. So Lily, the plan was simple. Our plan was to trade versus 900, 908, gap and crap under 900. If pushes over that, we look for the long, right? So we had a bearish bias because it was breaking 900. But remember, when 900 doesn't break and is curling over this Ripster 512 cloud, this is where I know it's a long. And then this is MTF cloud. This is the MTF cloud over 10-minute charts. And we take it long right away. So we take the Lily long right away versus 896 and 900. The stops were 896 or tighter stops at 900. You get in 904, $4 your risk. You take it all the way to $45, right? So that's a $40 profit. You know, even if you get out early, that's fine. But you're risking $5, you're making $40. You're risking 500, you're making 4,000. You're risking 1,000, you're making 8,000, and you got to hold with Ripster clouds. Anyways, this was my timestamp guidance. We also trade leverage ETFs, which is called Lily X. You can trade that. If you have smaller account, you can trade leverage ETF, which is Lily X. So Lily, long versus 896. As we started to move up, I told the traders to move the stops at 903, and as we started to move higher, I told the traders to move the stops to 907, right? So then we have this pre-market high breakout. Okay, hold on, what's going on here? My trend lines are okay, let's see. Yeah, so we have this pre-market high breakout. So that's what was happening. That's what I told the traders, that watch for that pre-market high breakout. And let's take a look here, and you could see that the pre-market high breakout here, right here, and then we moved our stops to 915. It held our stops all day. There was this candle down, which was just a retest of the pre-market lows. MTF to the MTF magnet setup. MTF to the MTF magnet setup. You know, you'd get out once we hit there. You know, that's the kind of trade. I told the traders in the community today. You know, I told them that if you can't hold your winners, forget that you have another position. Just forget it. Just trade what you got. You know, just think you only had half position, so you could ride them. Even if you trade Lily X, you could have bought 1,000 shares of Lily X, 1640. You risk $200. And you could have make $1,500 if you have a small account, or you could trade Lily. And if you're an options trader, you could trade the Lily with the options. Let's look here, Lily with the option. Let's say you were trading, you could trade 920 options as well. You know, they went from $6 all the way to $24, 600 to, you know, $2,400. However you want to trade it, many ways to trade Lily. Beautiful trade. You know, Lily was also kind of been a low price for a long time. Beautiful gap up, beautiful long, beautiful winner, repeatable setup, 512 calls, MTF magnet, pre-market test, and there we go. All right, so next look at our next trade. So now we're going to look at a bunch of shorts before we go on the shorts and the longs. There are definitely a few stocks which were not a long today. They were short all day, right? And there were some stocks which turned from long short to long. We'll talk about that as well. Let's take a look here at Meta. So what was happening on Meta today? Let's go on Meta. So taking a look at Meta, the pre-market plan was 640, 605, 600 our support levels. Already curling, only long if 610 holds. 600 is a big support. Watch the Amatuer move. Pay attention here. So what happens? Initially, push, flush. As soon as I see this flush breaking 610, I tell my traders to short it. Short, watch the pre-market lows. So traders hit the short right away at the 610, or you know, even better if you hit it higher. 600 was my target. I gave that target right at the open, and we hit our 600 target right on the point, guys, right on the point. So we cover here, tries to call, we exit. It was a choppy call, but something to note, it made a cup and handle, right? So this is called a cup and handle reversal. You're gonna long here, you know, so that was our cup and handle long. So I told the traders exit the short over this level 602 if reclaims. So once it held the support at 600, we just got out. You could trade it versus 600, that's fine, but you want to see the pre-market lows being reclaimed, and you're going to get here. You want to learn this system, start small, take 10 shares, 5 shares, just try to figure things out. But that was the trade. It was a 600 psychological, $10 short. You know, you respect the clouds, hold it, and if you get, this is a midday setup. Midday setup is called cup and handle with Ripster 34 clouds, right? So that was our Meta midday setup, and of course the morning show. All right, let's look at Amazon quickly. So Amazon, you know, the key thing in our community or my teachings is we should know when not to long, right? So as soon as Amazon, what is the plan on Amazon? Bullish buys over 274, no go under 268. So what does that mean? So bullish buys over 274. We are only going to long if it pushes over 274. Once it breaks this level, we are a short or we do not long. So I told the traders no longs. You could short it, you know, so you could short it, but there's a definitely no long there. So let's take a look here. So I told my traders Amazon is gap and crap. Amazon is short. Gap and crap, it's a short. So what I told the traders was Amazon is doing gap and crap. Amazon is a short. Amazon is a gap and crap. Amazon is a short. You could see it here. And once we have a short here, we see this holding, we try to get out right here. So because it's 512 curling, now you can play the curl, but you see initial curl failed. That's why you pay attention to the support level. You have to use this support, and then it makes a cup and handle, just like Meta made a cup and handle, and then you could curl it back over that. That was a different setup. You know, short in the morning, Ripster 512 curls, middle of the day. All right, so next setup we're going to look at is Qualcomm. So Qualcomm was pretty interesting. Initially, it was a short. No, you see this? First candle was a short. No go gap and crap. You short it right away. From 171 all the way to 163, you make some profits there on the short side. And once you short it there, you make some profits. And then I told the traders, cut over 172. Cut over 172. So as soon as curl over this one, you cut it, you get long. I tell the traders a 512 curl long because you're cutting the short here, this one right here. And this one was not all day fade. This was amateur move to trend move curl, breaking this level and going higher. Let's look at our pre-market planning. What was our plan on Qualcomm? Neutral bias 170 important, gap and crap under 170, long over that. If 174, 175 curls, what happened? Once the 174 curls, you could take a long there, put a stop of $3, or you could take a long right here. So as per pre-market planning, first initially you short the 170s. You got to be fast there in the morning, or if you cannot trade the first amateur move, you wait for the trend move, you get it long, and from there we kept moving the stops up. I told the traders to move the stops to 174. Then I told the traders to move to the 176, and it squeezed all the way to 186, 189, and then we got out when it broke our Ripster clouds, right? So you gotta, there was your entry right here or here, follow the pre-market plan, size small, learn the setups, insane trade. You could literally make $12 per share profit, risking $3, one risk to 4 reward there on Qualcomm. Beautiful trade. You could see that a lot of traders were calling the Qualcomm today, day trades, man, frying pan, D trades, everybody was calling that trade in the community. Community just killed that trade, in the community, yeah. All right, next setup we're going to look at is Google. So Google was same thing, long, short to long, right? I'm not just going to take too much time here. I'm going to just show you the screenshot of Google that can explain it. So what does it say, right? So Google, gap and crap, right from here, right? 368 hours target. Told the traders to move the stops at 372. As we get over the 372, 512 curls, exit shorts, get long. Pre-market high breakout, take it all the way. So you see how Qualcomm and Google were also short to the long, right? So Ripster Cloud tells you when to be short and when to be long. This is a very important lesson, how to change the bias. You can make money both sides when you do that. Right, so there was a Google, there's a live guidance. Let's look at a pre-market plan on Google. The pre-market plan was pretty simple on Google. Little extended, watch the amateur move, no go under 370, long over pre-market highs. No go under 370, long over pre-market highs, 370 no go. Curl here, long over the pre-market highs, breakout, everything, no hindsight guys, everything in the pre-market plan and everything as per the plan. Ripster clouds. All right, so next one we're going to look at is Microsoft. We're going to look at Microsoft. So Microsoft was just a short. Microsoft never gave a curl, so you need to know that Microsoft was all day short, though it did give a call at the end, all day short. Similar, again, similar to the short and curls. So let's see here. So Microsoft also on the voice, I told the traders, let's see if I can show you guys. So Microsoft also, I told the traders a short, heavy 400 target, right? 400 target, short. What was the plan? First target was MTF. Let's take a look at the plan on the Microsoft. So Microsoft, the plan was, let's take a look here. So plan on the Microsoft, no long under previous day close or previous day lows under MTF. There is a magnet below. Look at this MTF magnet below. So my traders already know that if it breaks here, they're going to short to the MTF magnet and then to 400. So this short from 416, 414 went all the way to 400. And look at that, Ripster 512 calls. A lot of my traders took that calls. I don't even have to tell my traders, they just execute, because we are not like spoon feed. We make consistent traders who can have a laptop, they broker, they can be on a vacation, they can wake up, trade these setups, make a living with the market. You can make consistent living here. Look at that. You could short all the way and you could get back long here. And you can see my short guidance, and I was not there for the 512 calls, but you could see the beauty of the 512 calls. All right, so let's look at here. Wow, another trades here. VIAV, good company, good company. It was a gap and crap in the morning, and let's look at our plan. We had a bullish bias because the chart was really good. 55 support, 59 resistance, long versus 57, 55. No go under 55. So once I saw that it breaking this cloud, I said no go. I told the traders no go on VIAV, and it's a gap and crap. Use 56 stops, and even my late mention, it went from 3450 all the way to the MTF cloud, MTF magnet. This, my friends, is called the MTF magnet. You could make literally, you short 1,000 shares, you put your stops over 56, $2 risk, you make $4 per share profit. Risking 1,000, you make $2,000. That's kind of trade you could do there with VIAV. All right, so let's look at the next trade here. Let's say we're going to look at the CVNA. Let's see what was CVNA. CVNA told the traders MTF short, lower MTF target, MTF to the MTF magnet setup, the cheat code setup on the MTF. Let's look at the pre-market planning of CVNA. CVNA, long only if the pre-market low 422 holds, neutral bias. 422 did not hold, so you get a bearish bias. You short right away on the 3450. If you miss the short, wait for the bounce, short again, cover close to the MTFs, get out on the 512 clouds. So that, my friends, was our CVNA short setup. All right, let's look at our day 2 setups here. This is called our day 2 strategy. The few setups which really worked out. Let's take a look here. Robinhood earning day 2 long over 71, 512 calls. There we go, long over 71.12. There you go, beautiful move there. So another setup we did on was on BE. So BE was traded by the traders in the community because it was also a day 2 setup. Let's take a look at the day 2 plan here on BE. One of the top day 2 setups. Bullish bias to long or pre-market highs, short under 290. And what did it do? BE broke the 290, went to the MTF magnet. Another MTF magnet setup on BE. So you could see that day 2 setup and MTF magnet setups there on these setups. Such a beautiful trade. You just need, always tell my traders to, we also have this swing long in our long-term portfolio on BE, which is doing pretty good right now, up over 30-40%, but we also have a different portfolio to short it. But that's how you need to apply the system to get those beautiful trades. All right, let's look at some more setups. There's so many plays today in the community. We went crazy. So this was NVIDIA, another MTF magnet setup. You can see that from MTF to the MTF. Traders just shorted it, took all the way by the puts, $10 per share profit on that. NVIDIA was also our MTF setup, MTF magnet short, MTF short. I gave the target of 200 all the way to 200 MTF magnet. Beautiful MTF magnet setup there on NVIDIA. So there were many other setups. TER was MTF upgrade setup from our pre-market game plan. You could see that TER JP Morgan upgrade, trades versus 50-55 MTF, long over MTF. You could make $20 per share profit on that. We had Caterpillar. It's just too much, but you have to focus. I focused on the few setups I showed you, but our traders were still killing these other trades in the community. I gave the stop on Caterpillar as 875, and you take it all the way higher. Another earning play. There's too many earning plays today. You just have to find which one you like. Caterpillar, all-time high chart, bullish bias over 855, and you see that as soon as it breaks this breakout, you take it long. And I gave the target of 888, 900, and we hit almost 900 magnet there. There was many other setups. BKSY was a good from MTF, double MTF. We had it on our pre-market game plan. BKS bullish bias over 1 hour MTF. You could see that how it ran over 1 hour MTF all the way there. Then we had, I think eBay was there. eBay was kind of choppy, but you could see once it reclaimed MTF clouds, it ran there. So definitely, a lot of setups today. MTF was pretty cool today there. All right, so let's look at a loser we had today. We were trying to trade HTZ. So HTZ, I mean, it was loser because, we got a little late entry, but let's take a look here. HTZ, partners with Uber, bullish bias over 650. A good entry was right here, and you take it to the 7. We tried to enter right here at 680. Our stops were at 660, 670, and once it did not work, we got out, and it was a loser. It was a loser just because we had a farther away entry, right? Because we missed that entry, so we got right here at 679, 680. Our stops were right under there, under like 10-cent stops, right? But it did not work, and no 7 breakout, and it failed, and we got out. So that was our loser today. Let's see anything else here. Yeah, Nokia was pretty good after hours. Nokia went crazy. Let's take a look. Nokia was on our game plan today. Let's take a look here on Nokia. Nokia record high volume, put it long over yesterday highs, but you could take this midday 3450 calls, and over yesterday highs you could scalp that. So space stocks were pretty strong today, and we always try to find the hot sectors. The few of the hot sectors today were we had rare earth, which was pretty strong. Love this sector. In Tenet research, you can find these hot sectors, and you can focus on them. Day trade, swing trade, whatever you want to do there. And space and rocket was also 95% green, so that was another hot sector. We actually took a swing yesterday, and I also did an article on that. I also did an article there on SpaceX IPO playbook. We want to be long, have exposure to the space stocks, because as the IPO comes close, we would get some good move there. And although we also have what we call it as we look at our plays here. So if I know that space and rocket is strong, I go to my space and rocket list. I look at all the names which I'm interested in, the year to date, which are trading. I take a look, which one I want to be long or swing. For example, Rocket Lab was great today, but we decided to do ASTS, right? So we did ASTS swing yesterday. Let's take a look here on to go to our market feed. Yesterday I told the traders on ASTS, I told the traders started his position at 69.90 with this, also sold the 65.60 puts, and I'm looking for a break of 70 and push higher. I also mentioned Rocket Lab, also an MTF bounce. I didn't take a position there, but a lot of other traders did. The thesis is the same: have exposure into the SpaceX IPO. That's how you find the swings. And the swing today, from that $70 already hit 74. We already made like $4 per share profit on that swing. Even Rocket Lab went crazy, and from the MTF clouds, and beautiful our swing, in our swing portfolio, we're doing pretty good there on the short term trades. On that ASTS is already up $6 here, so pretty good. So that's how you find those swing trades, hot sectors you look for. I did wanted to talk about rare earth sector. You have to find those your hottest stocks. Rare earth was also one of our on a rotation tracker today. So we had our rare earth, which was one of the strongest names. I was waiting for a good swing setup. Or other thing in the rare earth is that all these names: USAR, CRML, TMRC, MP. These were all the MP has been our previous swing winner, and also Trump administration has invested in these names, so it's kind of pretty good. If you see that a lot of these names, they started to run midday, so I missed those midday swing, but you take the swing right over those MTF cloud. USAR, that was running all day. Another one from the MTF clouds. Then you have CRML, another one running from the MTF clouds here. So that's how you find your hottest stocks, and we are always on top of it. And then you just try to find your swing trades, whatever you want to do there. All right, so let's quickly talk about our after-hour trades. So today we had a lot of earnings. We trade after hours. All our, we focus on our after-hour trades. Let's look at SNDK. So SNDK was an after-hour trade that came. You only trade. I have a web. So I was going to talk about, trading after hours, right? So trade after hours. I did a free webinar, which is part of our webinar Beyond the Bell. In this webinar, I went through everything, how you trade after hours. I taught you. It was a free webinar. It's part of our community as well. So when you trade after hours, you do not size too big. You do not size too big. You size small, right? So let's look at our few of our after hour trades that we did today. We wait for the earnings, and when we follow our process. So let's look at SNDK, for example. We were trading in the community SNDK after hours. So once after hours, SNDK was breaking down right here. There was not a long. You could short it. You just 50 shares, 10 shares, whatever. Then I told the traders that 1000, if it breaks, we can see below. But guess what? Bounced right from 1000. I told the traders a big buyer there. Now you could trade that, but your stops need to be tight. Let's say you buy 10 shares, 20 shares, your stops need to be tight, and you could scalp those 50 points. It's still bearish, but you could do that after our trade on SNDK on that one, right? So so I didn't do the SNDK. So let's look at the next one that we did was Reddit. So Reddit gave a good earning. Love this name. I also tweeted about the fundamentals on this one. Sometimes you don't have to look at the fundamentals. All you need to see is that earning growth and revenue growth is good. Guidance is higher. So that gave me a conviction. So I told the traders, I'm just going to show you the recap here. So I'm going to tell the traders that, we will long it versus 150. Why? Because 150, there's a psychological level there. And we also have the MTF clouds. We've long our 150, and I told the traders I will swing it because it's such a good earnings. So you see that it pulled back right from 150. It bounced. Initially there were sellers, but once I saw a swipe up, I told the traders, okay, now the buyer is back. You can long now versus 149. So we longed at 149. If you say size big size in the real time, in the after hours you size half or 1/3 those size. So I had entry at 150, 120 area, and we had risk $50, but you can see that we already made like $11, $14 profit there, and a lot of my traders in the community were holding it as well. Ripster clouds, beautiful. Reddit was done. So you have to size small. You have to watch the Ripster clouds. You can go to 3 minutes chart initially if it's not you have a difficulty with a bigger time frame. So you can see that how all of traders, we were trading Reddit. D-Tradesman actually added higher. Even he has a good entry as well. Amazing trade, D-Trade. And so that was a trade on Reddit. Now let's look at the next one, ROKU. So ROKU, I was a short on ROKU because it just gapped up, and I was on a smaller time frame. I'm just trying to find a smaller time frame here. Anyways. Oh, there we go. I was on a smaller time frame. I didn't really see that what it was doing that made it a crazy bullish. So I took a short here. I could read the price. I see lower lows, lower lows, lower highs, lower highs. So I took a short there. I think I have my entry screenshot somewhere there. So I took a short on that, and then took it all the way. So I was short right here. Let's take a look here. Yeah, there you go. So ROKU, I was short 129. I did cover most at 125, but it went all the way to 120. Even if you had 100 shares, that was $1,000 you could make after hours. You could see that gapping and crapping, scalping ROKU in a smaller time frame. ROKU short all the way down. Your size have to be small. Ideally, you want to be sticking with stick with the trend, not do the D- setups. But, for example, Apple. So Apple, a lot of traders were in the community were trading Apple. So I told the traders that if you are trading Apple, use 270. Okay, I will wait for the call. Use 270 as your level. So once it broke 270, it ran all the way. You could put your stops right here. So you have to wait for consolidation, and you have to listen to the call as well. So we had an amazing session on the after hour trading there as well today. So if you learn more, make sure you watch my webinar and on the after hour trade. I just want to recap SPY QQQ quickly. Nothing much. I mean, it was just a long in the morning that I gave to the traders. Yeah, so SPY QQQ, you know, pretty good. You could make good money there. This is also a concept of 1040 algo. Usually you will see a 1040 algo coming in and doing something. We have seen that often 1040 Eastern time. So you see initially it was short. I told the profit taking cover. So traders were short here. That's fine. Live guidance. We were also watching wicks, but as soon as wicks broke 18, this is the 1040 curls. I told the traders curl longs, stops under low of the candle, and that's it. You take the SPY long, ride it all the way as long as Ripster clouds long. I was on the voice. I told the traders pre-market highs breaking out, hold it. Same for QQQs. Reclaim QQQ curl, stops under the candle lows, you know, and take it all the way down. So that was SPY QQQ. You could trade futures, you know, you could trade leverage ETFs, options, whatever you did. Was insane trade today. You know, SPY options, literally you could turn 1,000 into 3,000 today. That was the move. Beautiful, beautiful move. So hopefully you guys learned a lot today. Apply these concepts. Today's recap was amazing. Take care. Bye-bye.